A few weeks ago, LeBron was asked, "What is it about basketball that's musical?" And his response really made my mind start to wander.
It's just the rhythm. It's just the rhythm. You can literally, watch a game on mute and then play music at the same time, and you can see the cadence. You can see the cadence of how someone dribbles and how someone moves. It's like
This was a really fascinating question and response because even outside of sports, rhythm is really a fundamental aspect of the world we live in. The rhythm of a heartbeat, rhythm in language, our circadian rhythm. But this also naturally made me think, what does rhythm and music look like in the NFL? The concept of rhythm has always been a part of football. I mean, you'll always hear about a team finding their rhythm towards the end of the season, throwing in rhythm, a quarterback finding rhythm with his receivers, the rhythm of a quarterback's cadence. And as you can tell from these examples, the rhythm and music of the game of football is best represented on offense. It's the beautiful chaos of 11 moving parts that create one coherent symphony. You have the conductor, violin, bass, viola, cello, woodwinds, percussion, that all play their distinct parts in a joint effort to produce stunning music. It can be violent, it can be beautiful, it can be fast, and it can be slow. It's harmonious when everything is in sync, but dissonant when even one component is off by a split second. But not all NFL offenses are playing the same type of music. You have different pitch, tempo, structure, and many more components that individually impact the piece that is being played. So taking all of these different components into consideration, let's look at what kind of music fits three of the best offenses in the NFL. Sometimes when you listen to music, you can't help but feel an emotional reaction. And when it comes to metal, the powerful sounds of the guitar, bass, and drums naturally elicits an emotional response. Whether good or bad, that's up to you. The Eagles are one of the most physically imposing teams in 2024. And when it comes to talking about their offense, it must start and end with their offensive line. The Eagles' offense is fueled by their offensive line. The Eagles dominated the trenches. When you watch the Eagles play, you can see this in effect. Power, physicality, and finesse. The Eagles displace their opponents and dominate the line of scrimmage play in and play out. Mailata, Dickerson, Juergens, Becton, and Johnson. The offensive line starts the song. They are the lifeblood of the music, and they establish the heavy rhythm on every single snap. Number one in rushing yards, number one in attempts, number one in yards per game. Saquon Barkley was on a record-breaking pace the entire 2024 NFL season. He would give you the most jaw-dropping highlights and constantly break off long runs in the regular season and playoffs. And he did this with both power and finesse. He would rapidly pump his legs and run over defenders to gain extra yards while showcasing the most technical footwork to get around defenders. He is both lead and rhythm guitar in one. Although the Eagles were a bottom three team in terms of total passing yards, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith still made crucial plays all season long. Contested catches, yards after the catch, and crisp routes throughout the entire year. The Eagles' passing game wasn't the main component of their offense, but just like with all the deep ball moments to these two-star receivers, the bridge is a crucial part of the song that provides some contrast and let the song breathe. And we can't forget the spirit of Philadelphia, the most unstoppable play in football. Call it whatever you want, try to ban it, but with a 97.9% success rate, the Eagles knew that they always had the best ending to their song. The tush push is the most violent play in football. 11 bodies all pushing in unison, fighting and clawing to move 1 yard against thousands of pounds pushing against them. And Jalen Hurts getting in the end zone was inevitable, and the Eagles knew the perfect way to mash everything together to get them on the scoreboard. Jazz is often viewed as one of the most complex forms of music. It requires a deep understanding of music theory, advanced chord progressions, and unconventional rhythmic structures. Jazz also requires improvisation. It requires musicians to think on their feet and create something new based on the moment that they're presented. It's the perfect blend of technical proficiency and creativity. But you can't do it alone. Jazz music requires collaboration, and for musicians to engage in a conversation with each other to move the song forward. The Bengals had the best passing offense in the NFL in 2024 with arguably the best trio in Joe Burrow, Ja'Marr Chase, and T. Higgins. But nothing about the Bengals season in 2024 was easy. They say that listening to your other band members is what makes a great jazz band. And these three players had no other choice than to listen to each other because they didn't have much else to help bolster them up. Combining for 27 total touchdowns, Joe Burrow and his two-star wide receivers set the league ablaze. Joe Burrow almost had 5,000 passing yards and 7 games with 300-plus yards. These three were in perfect rhythm all season long. As a bottom 3 rushing team, this trio was the lifeblood of the Bengals' entire offense. They needed each of these 3 highly skilled players in order to produce any music. Beautiful timing, incredible improvisation, amazing feats of technical proficiency, and of course, gorgeous solos. The jazz band leader is responsible for bringing the musicians together, organizing them into an ensemble, and leading them in their performance. After missing 6 games the previous season, Joe Burrow came into 2024 with a vengeance. Joe Burrow willed the Bengals to a 9-8 record, with no help coming from his defense and playing behind another poor offensive line. Although Joe Burrow had by far the most passing attempts in 2024, he ranked in the top 5 in completion percentage amongst qualified passers. He also threw for 43 touchdowns, which was first in the league. This level of accuracy and timing is what led Chase and Higgins to thrive, and thrive they did. Ja'Marr Chase achieved the receiving triple crown, leading the league in yards, touchdowns, and receptions, while also leading the NFL in yards after the catch. T. Higgins dominated the games with his size and physicality, leading to 10 touchdowns and only 12 games played. Sometimes jazz can be an uninspiring listen when one of the members isn't in rhythm with the rest of the band. But when the whole band is playing off of each other, trusting each other, and all swinging in the right direction, I don't think there's anything better to listen to. Jazz is a perfect blend of strong individual musicianship and feel. The synchronization and timing that Joe Burrow showed with Ja'Marr and T was a thing of beauty. Each of these players are highly skilled on their own, but when you pair them as a trio, this offense can be truly unrivaled. Key changes, time signature changes, a blend of different genres. With all the different components that go into a song, sometimes you can't quite put a finger on the type of music you're listening to. At one point you think you're listening to one thing, and the next second it can sound completely different. The Lions have had a dominating offense for multiple years running, and 2024 was no different. 565 points and 70 total touchdowns, both ranking 4th in league history. All this was accomplished through both extreme skill and power. And former Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson had a saying, "We want the same things to look different and different things to look the same." Just like how listeners may not be consciously aware that time signature or key signature has changed in a song, the Lions were able to present different looks from similar formations to subtly throw off a defense. You couldn't define the 2024 Lions offense with just one type of play. They could use their dominating offensive line to run the ball with a versatile backfield of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs with a mix of zone and power run schemes. And Jared Goff could pick defenses apart with incredible accuracy and timing, which led the Lions to find success as the second best passing offense in 2024 with both quick throws and explosive plays. The Lions could truly do it all. On the outset, you would think that the Lions offense is all finesse, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, and the entire Lions offensive line would maul their opponents and clear lanes for touchdowns. This level of aggression was also seen on how many times the Lions went for it on 4th down. With 33 4th down attempts, the Lions knew that they often had 4 chances to keep their drive alive. And just to keep you on your toes, the Lions would hit you with one of their trick plays. So just when you thought you finally had a grasp on what you were listening to, hook and ladder between Amon-Ra and Jamison Williams, touchdown pass to Dan Skipper, or the stumble bum. The Lions offense in 2024 was historic, and even though they'll have a new play caller in 2025, I'm sure that we should still all expect the unexpected.